Dexter Season 7 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am, if you're rewatching or watching Dexter, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be Dexter Season 7 Episode 3. The title of this episode is called Buck the System. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Dexter takes a trip to the post office, and inside he kills a postal worker, but it's just a hallucination. But he did go in there to deliver something, or send something off, I guess I should say. And Deb is outside and asks herself how much longer he's going to be, as she, of course, is following him around everywhere, due to the fact that Dexter killed Travis Marshall, and she found out that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. And then Dexter says to himself that he still needs to get rid of Lewis Green, as he's like the cockroach that doesn't go away. He didn't actually say that, but it's kind of what he is, in my opinion. Morning briefing time, and Soderquist is already there, standing in the back with a purplish shirt. So Soderquist is very punctual. He's always on time for all these meetings. He's usually the first one there when everybody else comes right before whoever is presenting presents. So Soderquist and me were both punctual. And if they would just ask him some information, like if they asked him what information he had, Soderquist would be able to fill them in on a whole lot of stuff, because just by observing, I think he solved a lot of cases just by observing, but they never ask him for his opinion, so he doesn't share it. Masuka notices that Deb keeps staring at Dexter, and then in another hallucination, Dexter stabs Masuka with a pen. Wow, Dexter, come on, man, it's Masuka, chill. Everything's okay. He's just having withdrawals, so this is how he's dealing with his withdrawals of not being able to kill. Dexter is trying to get a DNA swab, and this guy calls Dexter a pussy. So Dexter starts to choke him, and Deb walks in, and Dexter lets go, and then she, of course, gives him a talking to. Dexter wants some space from Deb. He's tired of this. He just has had enough of this. And then Dexter looks at Ray Speltzer's file. That's who Dexter wants on his table next. Dexter watches Ray Speltzer work out. He's got hair. He's pretty buff. He's punching the punching bag. Nadia comes to the station to ask Joey Quinn for a favor. So I think going forward, I'm going to call Quinn Joey now more. Maybe. I don't know. And mentions something about Kasha was wearing a bracelet the night she was killed. Nadia was working Joey for Isaac Serco and George. Isaac Serco wants Nadia to get close with Detective Joey Quinn and find out what the team at Miami Metro exactly knows about the case. The bracelet had a tracker on it, and Isaac Serco wants an IT person to be able to track it and find out where it went. Dexter sent the hand or arm to the station with a letter to Lewis Green in it, and Masuka is the one that opens it, and he sees the note and he fires Lewis Green. Poor Lewis. Wayne Randall's mom, you know Wayne Randall from the last episode, the guy that was at the site digging and then wanted swirl thing, whatever. His mom shows up to bring some items that Wayne Randall had given her years ago. Just junk that Wayne and the girl had collected. Dexter is taking a look at the items, and Dexter thinks they're trophies. Joey just got the call that Tony was killed, the doorman at the strip club, with a screwdriver in his eye. Jamie was sent a disc of Lewis Green messing around with a hooker, and Jamie tells Lewis that she never wants to see him again. Oh, you won't see him again, trust me. Deb follows Dexter, but Dexter knows she is and orders her a beer at the bar. Dexter shows Deb the file on Ray Speltzer and points out that he shaved his head again. It's a part of his killing ritual. He's gonna kill again. Christ on a fucking cracker, Dexter. What the hell? Christ on a fucking cracker? Where do they come up with this dialogue for Jennifer Carpenter to say? How many weird ways can you say fucking or fuck or fucker? Interesting line, Deb. Deb's mad he lied to her. Deb can't believe that Dexter wants her approval. If the system worked as good as Deb thinks, Dexter wouldn't be so good. Deb says this is done, and nothing better happened to that bald piece of shit. Dexter sees Speltzer go into a mausoleum, and before Dexter can investigate, call from Deb. Okay, I'll be right there, Dexter says. Dexter talks to Deb about his lizard brain that's been helping Deb all these years. And Deb says Dexter has to go with Batista to visit Hannah McKay. Oh boy, fun times ago. As Deb needs Hannah McKay's DNA. So Batista asks Dexter, are you ready to roll? Yeah. Batista says we got to make a quick stop on the way back to the strip club. You're making me nervous. Why don't you sit down? Isaac Circle says to Dexter. As Dexter just standing there like la-di-dee, la-da-da, waiting for Angel Batista. Batista talks about there's more to life than this. Something else out there for him. Goosebumps! Dexter and Angel have arrived. Can I help you? Hannah McKay says to Dexter and Batista. Dexter gets cut on one of the leaves on Hannah McKay's plants. Hannah just wants them to leave her alone. Hannah tells Dexter that you should stick with Mr. Morgan. And Dexter is trying to get a DNA swab from Hannah, but the first time he's like clumsy and fumbles the swab and has to go get a new one. So he does swab Hannah's cheek, and he says, thanks, Miss McKay. She says, call me Hannah, and Dexter wants to keep things on the last name basis. And then Deb, goes to LaGuerta about the Speltzer file, says her lizard brain is giving her a feeling. Isaac Circo, George, and is it Yuri or Jurg? I don't remember his henchman's name yet. Follow the tracker that leads to Dexter's boat. Uh-oh. Lewis Green is on the boat. Isaac Circo asks Lewis if this is his boat or this is your boat. And Lewis says, yeah. And then Lewis tells Isaac, they're threatening him that, and they start freaking out like, oh, wait. And then he tells Isaac Circo about Dexter and working for Miami Metro Homicide. Lewis wants to go, and Isaac says, yes, go ahead. And then Isaac Circo shoots Lewis Green in the head and tells George to get rid of the body. Nadia is at Joey's place. She tells him her bosses ordered her to get close to him. Nadia tells Joey he shouldn't get involved with the Koshka Brotherhood. And then her and Joey start making out. And then Dexter finds the missing earrings in the mausoleum. Got the proof, Dexter sends a message. Deb's going to Speltzer's place as he's got her worried. Speltzer got the bartender over at his place. Speltzer attacks Melanie, the bartender. He's now wearing a horned mask, and his place is like a maze with rock music and flashing lights. Some killing ritual, I guess. Deb sees this and goes up to the house, and she hears screaming. Speltzer has Melanie cornered. Deb enters the house. Speltzer attacks Deb. Deb gets caught on barbed wire, but Dexter's there to save the day because he was going there anyway. And then Speltzer's able to get away, but he was unfortunately able to kill Melanie. Deb tells Dexter that he was right. If she would have just let him do the things that he does or let him do things his way, she gets it. She hates it, but she gets it. Deb understands now. Deb doesn't understand the blood slides. On some level, Dexter, you like to kill. Well, duh. Deb thinks Dexter should move out and move back to his place. He tells her that he's still her brother. She doesn't even know if things will ever be the same again. And then Dexter's narration says he's finally out of his cage, but freedom comes with a cost as the episode ends. So, pretty awesome episode of Dexter. Obviously, we get Hannah McKay. I've been waiting for that moment forever, it seems like, since I started re-reviewing the episodes of Dexter, so I'm happy. I'm going to score this episode a 9 point... You know what? I'm going to score this episode a 10 out of 10 because it had so much stuff. And Ray Speltzer is a legit badass in this episode and the next one. So 10 out of 10, your character of the episode. For males, I'm going to give it to Isaac Circo. For females, I do have to give it to Deb for this episode because of the whole stuff with Speltzer and her going to Speltzer's house. And the fact that Hannah only had one scene in this episode. And then as far as people that we lost in this episode. We have sort of a villain on Dexter, Lewis Green. He actually did some interesting things. He was actually somewhat intelligent and kind of pissed Dexter off a few times. So I'm going to give Lewis Green a 7 out of 10. And then Melanie, our bartender, she didn't really get much time to shine. I'll give her a 4 out of 10. Maybe it should be lower than that, but whatever. So you finally heard what I had to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of Dexter or Dexter New Blood and want to help me out with this fucking YouTube algorithm, please smash that like button. Share this video with whomever you want, or put this video on any of your social media platforms. Sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode. Tell me what you're going to score it. Your female and male characters of the episode. If you want to rate the people that died, such as Lewis Green and Melanie, that's fine. If you have a favorite moment, great. I like the stuff with Deb telling Dexter he was right, and of course the Hannah McKay stuff. And then last but certainly not least, you're watching the video anyway, so don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support and be a part of something special, and JDev will return.